Everyone, Merry Christmas! I know we're days out of Christmas, but we are doing Cinemas. That's right, Dream Warriors is celebrating the greatest holiday ever created. And look, if you're not into Christmas, we got some good movies though, and that's what Cinemas is all about. So, you hear those jingle bells? You hear that reindeer? Santa's coming. Let's just hit that music and get to talking about the Christmas Chronicles, available now on Netflix. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. I believe the draw of Christmas is just it's just a phonication of the words, because it is just so much fun to say. I think it's a little bit like happy birthday. I tell people happy birthday all the time, even when it's not their birthday. I'm very bad with dates. If it's not for Facebook, I don't know someone's birthday, which is why Facebook is very important to me. At one time, I did merge Facebook and Google Gmail calendars, and a lot of my friends' birthdays did go into my 9 to 5 calendars, like, so to speak. So a little grateful for that, but I'm not totally dependent on Facebook for happy birthdays, but it does help. But yeah, I think just saying Merry Christmas is just great. And yeah, so Dream Warriors, if you're not familiar with this show, look, this is a pop culture journey, adventure. We're always playing with the baseline concepts of what Dream Warrior represents. And right now, we're just focused on long-form conversation on all things pop culture. There is a bunch of contributors that, look, as long as they got something to say and they want to say something, they can come on. We can go and hang out. The contributors is a scale. Because sometimes, look, it's a lot of work for me just to do something like what you're listening to. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of steps just to get to this point, and I do want to maximize it. So, the contributors come and go, new ones, old ones, but we go on runs with some of them. But we do have contributors. Each one's almost like the A team. They have a specialty. But yeah, so like this other baseline that I've been toying with for Dream Warriors is I just view that there's so much cynicism when it comes to reviews, and this is very prevalent. This coming Sunday is WWE's TLC, Tables, Ladders, Chairs, especially in wrestling conversation. It's so cynical. I believe film conversation is just about there. The odd thing is comic book conversation is strictly adulation and cutesy bootsy and funny and everything is great, which is a little bit weird because I haven't read a good comic off the shelves in many years. Now, that doesn't say I don't discover good modern day comics. Like right now, this dude, Tom Sicoli, and I'm having a hell of a Transformers year. This is 2018 is almost a year of the Transformers for me. But Tom Sicoli did this G.I. Joe verse Transformers book, and it is phenomenal. It is up there with me now with Watchmen, Mouse, Akira, Dark Knight Returns, and like this. Like this is Jeff Smith's Spoon. This book. This run that he did is among the all-time top, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, so there's a criticism of the cynicism. That's the point I was getting at. But Dream Warriors, it's comics, TV, streaming. Me, Peter A. DeLuca, your host, your boy, your dude. Part of my life, part of the lives of my contributors. I think Mark's coming back to talk to me just about Christmas. I think we should have like a general Christmas discussion. I'm looking forward to that. But, it's just an exploration on where some of these movies and other pieces of content, where they rely in our consciousness, in our psyche, in our culture, the day they are introduced into it and later. And that's what I mean by long-form conversation. And to me, that is why Dream Warriors is as important as it is. And look, we're pretty good. We're pretty hardcore on Netflix. Dream Warriors monitors just about everything that Netflix does. And I really do like promoting what Netflix has. That's good. That's done well. And the reason for this is because I view chaos coming. See, Netflix came into the market and created chaos. Put a lot of people out of business, challenged a entire industry. Now, with that being said, okay, that's just one angle. The other angle is that it introduced business to another business model. So what do we have with that? We have now Netflix making money off of Comcast. That's like another discussion, and making money off of the content that they're providing. So they're making money off of other people's work in two ways, okay? And people are not going to like it, and they're going to go after Netflix. And how do they go after Netflix? They develop their own Netflix-like services. And look, Comcast is poised to challenge Netflix with Xfinity. Luckily, they all know what they're doing. Hulu, kind of came and went. Amazon is right there to challenge Netflix. And then we have Disney with Disney Live or Disney Plus. I forget the name of it. But Disney has its streaming service. It's coming at us quick. That's a real competitor. And then, Warner Brothers came out with the DC universe, the DC streaming, which is a very niche UFC Fight Pass, WWE channel as well. Like, that's what I would compare the DC universe with. So what's eventually going to happen with Netflix is they're not going to have rights for pre-made content. Eventually their rights are going to get pulled one by one, and they won't be renewed. So what does this mean for Netflix? Well, this means that Netflix is going to become a idea house strictly on original content. And I think it's fitting that we're launching cinemas with the Christmas Chronicles. It's defined as a comedy film. I would 100% agree. It stars Kurt Russell, fantastic Kurt Russell. The lady I watched this movie with, her and I saw John Carpenter's The Thing. And we watched this movie almost like back to back. And I kind of didn't realize what the Kurt Russell connection until I saw Kurt Russell as, as Santa Claus. And I'm like, look, it's the guy from The Thing. Look, sometimes at the Dream Warrior Studios, we go into dark rabbit Alice in Wonderland like rabbit holes on just discovery and watching things and YouTube black holes and all these great things that are available content providers give to us. But so Christmas Chronicles in all is a fantastic Christmas movie. It's directed by Clay Katis. So this is the second Dream Warriors episode. The latest episode was the fantastic Bumblebee movie, and I say it's fantastic just because, I don't know why. Because I like the Bumblebee character so much, but that's a tough movie. But that movie is directed by Travis Knight. Clay over here is also from the two of them and are conjoined parallel. They're former animation directors. Which is interesting because I think maybe this is something that we can thank Mr. Tom Cruise for this by cherry picking Brad Bird for the Mission Impossible movies, who also had an animation background, and that was maybe like the first time we saw someone strictly in animation go into live action and just do something amazing, like dominate. Here we have something similar because I would say the faults of the Bumblebee movie. And even the faults of this movie are parallel in what they're getting across, meaning that the humans, the emotion, the human characters are not 100%. And this could be because when you work in animation, the characters are, you self-define the characters, and you're with a group of collaborators all with equal skill sets. Now, you're not getting a performance, you're creating the performance. Do you get this in Bumblebee? Do you get this in Christmas Chronicles? You do not. Okay, you have to direct people now. You have to direct humans, which all have different triggers, different emotional states, different experiences, different reference points. All in all, okay. So it's stark. It's a little bit stark because it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it look easy. Do both of these directors have a future? I would say 1,000%. Yes, they do. Christmas Chronicles falls right into like a very awesome, even Christmas movie. It is a Christmas mythology movie. It's of that. It probably has, I would say, maybe the best mythology around the holiday, as Nightmare Before Christmas does, Stop and Go Animation, and Elf. Up until that point, the other Christmas mythology, outside of Miracle on 34th Street, it never resonated. It was either overly explained or underexplained. And, Santa Claus, the movie, like, there's a lot of examples of this. I'm not going to waste your time. Not going to waste your time. So, with all of that being said, let's get into the plot. The plot is very cool. Okay, kids mess up Christmas. Kids catch Santa Claus. Kids get into the sleigh of Santa Claus, and they kind of mess up Christmas. And from very early on, we start to build a mythology and the lore around Santa Claus, the magic, and the holiday. And this is a deconstruction of that. Now, this movie is completely self-aware. There's some self-adulation to it. There's a couple winks. But we want that. We want that in the Christmas movie of this level. Now, the kids have to work with Santa to fix Christmas. Now, the kids have a demon of their own. They recently just lost their father. And this is where the Chronicles part of Christmas comes in. These kids have to discover themselves and rediscover the meaning of the holiday without their father. Again, Christmas is a holiday of togetherness and love. This movie, that is the plot of this. We are introduced to the arc of the characters in the opening credits of this movie, and I think Clay Cadis definitely narrows in, pinpoints, and identifies that from early on. Now, what happens along the way with us connecting to the characters? It's give and take. Look, Kurt Russell is magnanimous. He is one of the all-time best on-screen Santa Clauses you can imagine, you can conjure. He is among the very best. Okay, but that okay. So look, that's a final statement there. No one come at me with that. I don't want to see anything blow up DM-wise with that. So we get into more of the magic side, and we're introduced to the elves. And again, the other thing that this movie does amazingly well, and I kind of like, as I was watching it, I was kind of thinking like someone involved has got to be like have an animation background, because we have our elves and we have one of the all-time, again, this movie hits a lot out of the park. All-time Christmas movie elves, like elves again too, fully formed. They're all CGI. Each one, there's hundreds on screen at a time. Each one of these elves has a different personality. Try me on this. But these elves are fantastic, and just the way how they were done, I'm like, this is too exact. Like, someone knows too much involved with the production on, like where to put the time and how they're maximizing like your focus. Because a lot of times even with animation, you have a focal point, and that's like the detail and the intention, and everything else is kind of cheated around what the focal point is. These elves are the definition of that technique. Loved the elves in this movie. I will watch a movie of the elves alone. You can spin this movie off into a Christmas Chronicles elves franchise, just like they did with the Minions. These elves are Minion level awesome. But yeah, so we get a great lesson at the end of this movie. We have an amazing cameo. We do meet Mrs. Claus, which is Goldie Hawn, the great Goldie Hawn, which blew my mind. And that's it. Look, it's a Christmas movie about Christmas. What do you want? It's on Netflix. You can check it out. And 4, Cinemas, day one. And look, everyone, before I sign off, I don't have a plan for Cinemas. I'm just going to be dropping episodes, okay? I'm not hyping ones up. I'm just going to go with the flow, okay? Because 31 Days of Dread, even thanks Flickmas, took a lot out of me. I'm going to be a little bit easier, but I might also be doing toy targeted themed episodes. I do want to do almost like the Year of Transformers, since that's the toy line and it's Christmas time. Like I do feel like that there is a comparison there. So I haven't really figured out all of the content for this, but expect more episodes of Cinemas during December. We're going into like a good stretch here, and we have Tables, Ladders, and Chairs this Sunday, and now potentially I'm going to put my foot into my mouth into the Spider-Verse, the Miles Morales Spider-Man, African-American Spider-Man story, movie thing, animated thing. May or may not be an episode because I just got like a couple invites to see it. People want to go see it with me. It's hard for me to say no, especially because I like to party when I see movies. I like to go hard. I like to drink a lot of alcohol and get some Burger King. Everyone, until next time, I love you, rock and roll, and thanks for joining me.
Ho, 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 ho.